All right, now that we've kind of developed and designed here, right? So we have this going on. Um, what we're going to do is make it more of a game, actually stuff happening, right? And to do that, it's just a matter of adding some components and treating the camera, right, as more of the player per se, or that point of view that is us. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure that you have this highlighted, so the GVR editor emulator. I believe that's what everybody should be called. You don't want to stick with the main camera. You want to make sure that you're in this main editor as a whole. And we're just going to add a few components to this, right? So the first one that we're going to add is called a rigid body. So just open this up and look for rigid, R-I-G-I-D, rigid body. Okay, and once we have that, we want to freeze X and Z because basically what we're doing is we're adding gravity at this point, right? And we only want the gravity to be as normal gravity is, going straight up and down. So that's why we're going to leave that Y open. And one thing that we should note here, so I'm going to work on this. My camera is, where is my camera in this? It's right here. It's up top. So when you see, before when we tested it, you notice that my viewpoint over here didn't change at all. But now that I've added that rigid body, right? So makes it rigid means I guess it's got some weight to it, right? I'm gonna go ahead and hit play and watch as it goes and goes and goes, and then, oh my goodness gracious, it just keeps going and going and going. Okay, and that is because, yes, we added what we needed to in the rigid body, but now we need to add another component, and that is the capsule collision. That's just what it's called, but of course you could probably tell that the collision part of this is, for those of us that took the advanced authoring in the construct, it's almost like turning everything around it, I guess, into a solid, right? So we're going to do that. And then what you want to do before you test this is you want to double click on your camera there. And you see the size of that thing? Whoa. You see how big that is? And that's okay. So we can move this around. For me, I think it's going to be okay. Let me just double check here. I don't have, see my alleyways here? I mean, I guess that one's a little thin too, but what you want to do is you want to resize that camera. You want to resize that, right? So if you hit R on you can move this about. See that? And all I'm doing now is making that small enough and tall enough, or whatever the heck that you want to do, so that it actually fits through your alleyways of your maze. It really all depends on how big, wide, skinny, what have you, that you made your maze, okay? So now that I've done that, I can test this. And before you saw it fall all the way through, but now when I go ahead and hit play, you'll see that it goes, and then kaboom, it just knocks right down on my floor. So that's cool. And I think what I want to do here is, I like that. See that? See how I made my rigid body, like I can make this taller. So now all of a sudden the distance here, see, and that's my camera, that's my middle. So now my distance maybe is a little bit taller, so it doesn't look like I'm crawling on the floor. Or that the trees are really high, whatever. So now we have this going on. We have this player now, kind of this point that our game is going to be. And now we need to add some code. And there's just two things that you have to do. I'm going to provide you the rest. And the first part is just setting it up. So what you want to do is go to add component here. Make sure that we're still on our emulator, right? Go to add component and do new script. Name it. I'm going to call it controller. And the first and foremost, what you want to do is get in there. So here's controller. It's going to open up, hopefully it opens up this Visual Studio. And just to start now, okay, we're going to come underneath here, right under mono behavior in the first, before the start. So start is the things that are going to happen. And I think we talked about this in a code before that didn't work, but start is what's going to happen initially. Update then is we're going to put a bunch of code in there so it continues to happen per frame per second. And there you can actually see it says that, okay? What you want to do is you're going to type public, right? Game object. I mean, I know we've done all this stuff before. And then ground. And we're doing that because we're setting this thing up Whereas if you're looking forward, it's going to be moving, the camera and whatnot will be moving in the direction that you're looking. But we also want it to stop at some point. So using the ground like this means if you look, we're going to basically code it, I guess, where if you look down, you'll stop. Okay? So do that, play it, and Command S to save it. Now, the moment you do that, what we have to do then is come out, and when we click on our game editor thing where we just put that script, you can see down here, it says controller script, it says script controller, but then it says ground, which we just made, remember? And it needs a game object. So we need to at least initialize what is going to be the ground, and we know it's the plane. So you just grab plane over here, don't click on it, just literally grab it real quick and drag that down here. So now it knows within that script, the ground is the plane. And that's what you have to do to get things started and initiated, okay? And basically that's it, because I'm going to give you the code to copy and paste, and you should be fine. But what I want to show you is, I'm actually going to switch that. Can I? Well, actually, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to show you. So here is the code that you're going to use and do. So this is everything that I am going to give you, okay? One thing that you'll notice is we initialized that ground and all that plane thing, and then I took it out. Because once we did a Boolean back here with the walking, we made the contains here plane, and then you can remove it. So what you're going to do is do exactly what I just showed you to initialize that plane, but then go ahead, come back here and copy all of this, just to keep it easy. Copy, Command C, okay? And then you go into controller, the one that in it, and literally just copy it all, Command V, and you're good. Again, go ahead and hit play. Oh my. Oh, because oh, okay. Oh my. I think because I called it caps and we're actually there, so I'm going to call that controller. Yeah, my bad. So that's one thing that you definitely have to do is initially call it controller from the beginning, and I think I'll do that as well. I'll give you this code that says controller so you don't have to deal with that. But now that we did that, we can come back out here. When I hit play, you can see that it's going to fall, and there we go. So I'm looking around, and it's just going to go in the direction that I'm looking, and when I look down, I don't know what down is considered, because I don't think I have my, oh, that's right, I didn't put my ret on, but that's okay. But you'll see that this is moving around quite nicely, and we're good. If I go into this, and then I should bump into it. Boom, what should I do? Okay. Okay, so that's that. It just, your goal here is just to get it to work. We can do the specifics later. If you want to do other collision things on here, by all means, go ahead. But this is something that's pretty neat that you can actually run and do, okay? And for those of you interested, what you would do is go to File, go to Build Settings, okay? And I called this thing, I don't know what that's called, so I'm going to uncheck this. The very first thing that you want to do is, what scenes do you want to put in this build? And then you go to this Add Open Scenes, and you see it adds my VRMaze with a check, and that's what this is called, VRMaze with a check. Okay, I am going to do this in Xcode. Remember, I switched that platform. I did all of these things. Now, you don't want to do build and run. You just want to do build. And for those of you doing things in a Mac, you can see that it's going to run in Xcode. So all you would just hit build. I'm going to save as, and this is what it's saving is the build. So I can call it the same thing because it's not going to be an Unity project. It's going to be an Xcode project. And this will take a while, I believe. Maybe. I don't know. Oh my, yeah. So fast forward through this if you want. And I'm pretty sure I have Xcode on here. I guess it would have said something if I didn't, right? And here's an interesting thing. Well, actually, you know what? This all was done in C#, so don't worry about it. So there you can see, there's my folder. When I open it, hey, what happened? Whatever. I guess I could try to show you here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? It's somewhere on my computer. But basically, it'll open up in Xcode is all it does. And the cool thing about that is once it's open, then there in Xcode, you can plug your phone in for you, again, you Mac and iPhone users. You plug your phone in and you can launch a test of it and it just goes right on your phone. So that's it. Have fun with it. Thank you.